Okay, so the next area of concern is our lower spine. And honestly, a lot of the exercises we just covered for the hips will touch on that lightly. But these are some ones that are going to just really directly address the lower spine. Because again, key area of tightness. First of all, as far as your daily movement patterns, things that are going to, again, stiffen up your spine is sitting. There's actually, I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's something like 2 or 3 times the force is put on your spine as when you're standing. Like if you're sitting down, you're getting 2 or 3 times the amount of force put on your lower back as if you were standing. So sitting, though it feels relaxing, is actually more stressful on your body than standing is. Alright, the other thing to keep in mind with the lower back is, again, we're always forward flexing in our society, okay? We're obsessed with the abdominals, and so everybody's doing crunches like crazy. Everybody was bending forward to pick stuff up. Everybody's always hunching forward at their desk. Just everything is so forward with us, and there's so much flexion going on. Okay, and that's going to create some muscle imbalances. So what happens with most people, their abdominals and their hips get really tight, and it's pulling their body in. Meanwhile, their glutes and their lower back muscles and their erectors that run from the top of your back down, okay, those are the muscles that allow you to stand up straight. Those muscles are becoming weak. So we need to build in a lot of activities, again, like I said, forward butt, and a lot of activities that are strengthening our erectors or our back muscles here, and that will help pull us up straighter, and it will help eliminate some of that trouble with the lower spine. So here are some simple exercises you can do to A, loosen up your lower spine, and then eventually correct those muscle imbalances. First one is, looks a little silly, but honestly it's a lot of fun once you get into it, and it feels really, really good. So what's happening this one is you're rocking back and forth on your back, and you're basically just using the floor to massage your back muscles and to help loosen up your vertebrae. So I'll just get down and show you what that looks like. So I'll probably show you from the side and the front. Basically what you're going to do, just legs right in front of you, and you're just going to use some momentum and rock backwards and just bring your legs as high up above your head as you can, and then you're going to rock forward again and bring your legs back into this position. And yeah, again, you're just using momentum, so once you get the swing started, you shouldn't have to use a lot of muscular effort to keep the exercise going. Okay, if we were doing this as an abdominal exercise, we wouldn't want momentum, but we're doing this, again, to loosen up our back. So just keep your hands tucked in tight, and you're basically rocking back and forth with like maybe a baby would, okay? So rocking back, kick the legs up, then rock forward, again come forward with your body. Rock back, rock forward. Okay, you can go a bit further each time. When you come back like this, okay, you're going to feel it up in your shoulders. When you come down like this, you're going to probably feel a light stretch in your hips. Just continually rocking back and forth. Okay, from the side, what this looks like. Okay, just like that. So again, it looks really silly, but I think once you do a few repetitions of that, you'll feel dramatically looser. Next one we're going to get into is twisting to the side. Alright, so this is a common stretch to do after a workout, and there's a lot of different ways. I'll show you 3 different variations of this one. So one that you can do is to have one leg straight out, cross the other leg over top, and right around the knee is where you're going to cross. That same leg that's stretched out, you're going to take that same arm, tuck it behind your bent knee, okay? And then you're just going to twist to the side, and as you're twisting the side, you're going to exhale all your air out. And that's just, again, creating space for our body to turn easily. Okay, just a bit of support with that back arm. And what you're doing is you're actively pushing this arm against this knee. And what that's doing is it's A, stretching the hip out, and B, giving us the force to turn ourselves around to the side. Okay, just hold it for a brief second. Come back to center. And then after you inhale, you can twist one more time to the side. And again, a lot of these exercises, it's normal to hear a lot of cracking and popping. Okay, that's not a bad thing. Usually all it is one, the joint sliding back into place, or it might be some air trapped in the joint that's escaping. The only time you have to be worried about cracking and popping in your joints is when there's pain associated with it, and then you want to stop and find another activity that you can do. So, again, twisting to the side, exhale the air out. Hold it for a brief second. back to center, inhale, and exhale and twist. Alright, 2 other variations of that on the floor, lying on your back. So what we're doing here, knees straight up, and we're going to have our arms out to the side, and just keep the knees together. You're going to drop both knees to one side, okay? And so again, we might feel this in our lower back. Usually only people who are really stiff are going to feel this one, okay? If you have a decent amount of mobility, you're not going to feel much. The other big thing is to keep your shoulders flat on the ground when you're twisting to the side. Right, come back to center, twist to the other side. Again, you should feel that throughout your lower back. Okay, slightly more difficult version of that. Put one leg straight out, and then you're going to tuck that other knee in, and you want to bring this knee in quite high, and you're just going to use your free arm there to pull it down to the ground. And again, you're going to feel this all the way down your lower spine and into your hips. So depending on the flexibility, you may be able to get that other knee to touch the ground, and you might not be able to. Just something to work at. But no matter what you're doing, again, you want to make sure your shoulders and your other arm are maintaining contact with the ground the entire time. If my shoulders are coming up like this, then I'm not getting the full effect of the exercise. Okay, switch sides. So legs straight out, pull the knee over, bring it up and down. Okay, just hold it down there. Okay, and come back. So that's a bit more for lower spine. The other thing you can do just from standing even, this is a great one when you first wake up, is just twisting your arms side to side, letting them flop around, and again, trying to keep your hips pretty centered the whole time, but just twisting from the waist, just letting your arms flop, and that kind of just lubricates the lower back a little bit. So something to do when you've been sitting for a while. Okay, like I was talking about before with all the forward bending and the flexion and how that tightens us up, what we're going to do now is a few little activities that will help open up the front of our body and help stretch out the muscles on the back of our body as well. So this one is just arching over an exercise ball. Alright, so what you're going to do is just sit on the ball, and again, ideally a proper size ball, your legs should be parallel with the ground, if not slightly higher. Okay, so this ball's lost a bit of air. It probably could use a bit more for my height, but just whatever you have will work. And basically you're just going to walk yourself forward till the middle of your back is resting comfortably on the ball. Okay, from this point, what you're going to do is just arch behind you. Okay, and if you have the flexibility, you can let your hands touch the ground. If not, just go as far as you feel comfortable. And you want to drop your head back as well, help accentuate that arch. So most people who are pretty tight, you're going to feel this again right from your hips all the way up through, sometimes even into your chest and your shoulders. Alright, and you should feel all the muscles in your back stretching out as well, because they'll be chronically tight. Alright, and just hang in that position for a few minutes. And then you can rock back. And if it's too strenuous to have the arms back, even just keeping them tucked in your chest and just doing this will be good for some people. Alright, so when you're done, you're just going to sit up and then use your legs to push yourself back, just like that. A lot of people when they're first doing that, again, that idea of being upside down or leaning way back is going to be pretty scary to them. And it is easy to lose your balance on these balls, so just make sure A, you're not in a place where you're going to hit your head on something, and B, maybe make sure if it's your first few times that you have somebody there to kind of spot you and help you out. And only go back as far as you feel comfortable. The other thing that will happen is sometimes you might get lightheaded in that position, so it's something to build up to, but just leaning back like that, get the stretch, and then you can come back up. The other thing you can do is roll back and forth in this position. Again, using your legs for push and for balance, and it just kind of massages the back a little bit and opens everything up. Okay? Put the ball away. One last little demonstration here. I know this is a lot to take in, but honestly, if you start playing with some of this stuff, I think you'll feel a lot less stiff and a lot better. So we're going to do wall walks, and then we'll move into a full-fledged bridge. And the bridging is for very advanced people, so recommend trying it unless you're fairly active already. So what we're going to do, wall walks, basically what you're going to do is start with your back flat against the wall, and you're going to take 2 or 3 steps out with your feet, okay? So 1 foot length, 2 foot lengths, and then I'll just square them up like that. And what I'm going to do is reach back and put my fingertips on the wall, and I'm going to walk down the wall, kind of like Spider-Man, okay, walking down the wall until I feel enough of a stretch in my back, and I'll walk myself back up. Alright, so just leaning back, and again you have to trust yourself for this one. You have that wall behind you, and as long as your hands are back there, you're always going to catch yourself, alright? So don't panic. Just reaching back, touch the wall, walk down, and walk up, okay? Some people, even just touching the wall, that will be enough of an achievement for them, right? If you're pretty tight, that can be pretty hard. And then you just want to work on going deeper and deeper down the wall until you're all the way to the bottom, alright? One more time, walk down, and walk up, okay? And so this is, again, our back, not just your spine, but you'll even feel it opening up your upper back to some degree. Last thing we're going to do is a full bridge, okay? And so I'll demonstrate from this position, and then I'll probably turn to the side and do it as well, just so you get an idea of what it looks like. So this one, you're going to walk all the way down the wall in our hands. When we get to the bottom, we're just going to hold it there. Okay, some of the weight will be in my hands, some of the weight will be in my forehead. And again, this position looks really daunting at first, but anatomically our bodies are actually meant to bend backwards more than they are forwards. Right? The spine has much more flexibility going this way than it does the other way. Once you get used to being in this position, you'll find it's one of the most rejuvenating things you can do. I've had hundreds of people who do this just give rave reviews about how much it's changed their mobility and even their energy levels. Your energy will go through the roof if you can get to this one. So here we go, walking down into the bridge. Okay. So now the weight's on my forehead, some of the weight on my hands. Ideally, if you have the flexibility, you want your heels to touch the ground, but if not, having them elevated is alright too. And you want to see if you can push your chest back to touch the wall in this position. Okay? And so whether you just hold it still or you're rocking back and forth, this is doing great things for your neck and your back. Alright? So I'll slide out of it. And I'll show you from the side too, just so you get a good picture of what that looks like. So it won't be as tight as the one I did on the wall, but here we go into a bridge. Again, either just rocking back and forth, or you can hold it. Again, ideally keeping the heels flat on the ground and pushing that chest back. And you can cross your arms over if you need some extra challenges. Alright, sliding out of the bridge. So there you go. Those are a whole bunch of things you can do. Again, hips, glutes, back. It'll just keep you nice and mobile, and I think you'll especially find with the back, once you start really paying attention to the lower spine, that's where a lot of energy gets trapped for people, and so doing those exercises will help really refreshen you and get a lot of energy moving through your body again. So I hope you've enjoyed this issue of the Hippocratic Diaries video newsletters, and we'll see you next month for some more great stuff. And yeah, please subscribe to the offline portion because that's where the best stuff happens. And yeah, look forward to seeing you more in the future. Take care.